Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're staring at a passport that's about to expire, or maybe it already has, and you're feeling that creeping sense of bureaucratic dread, just take a deep breath. You are exactly in the right place. Today, we're turning a process that usually feels like a massive maze into a simple, straightforward runway. Consider this explainer your ultimate pre-flight checklist for renewing a U.S. passport entirely by mail. That means no waiting in line at an acceptance facility and absolutely no scheduling complicated appointments. We're going to get you cleared for takeoff right from your kitchen table. So let's jump in.
Here is our flight plan for today. First, we'll hit the eligibility check. 2, form and documents. 3, photos and fees. 4, assemble and mail. And 5, timelines and tracking.
All right, phase 1, the eligibility check. Let's make sure you actually qualify for this VIP mail-in lane.
These 4 criteria are your absolute golden ticket to skipping the in-person line entirely, but you have to meet all of them. First, your most recent passport had to be issued when you were 16 or older, so unfortunately, childhood passports don't count here. Second, it has to have been issued less than 15 years ago. Third, you physically need to have it in your hands right now because you have to mail it in. And finally, it can't be significantly damaged. We're talking water damage, missing pages, or major tears. If you check all 4 of these boxes, congratulations, you get to bypass the hassle and handle this whole thing from home. Moving right along to phase 2, form and documents. This is the paperwork part, and honestly, attention to detail here is basically like packing a parachute. You want to get it right the first time so everything opens up smoothly later. The absolute MVP of this whole process is a document called Form DS-82. This is the official U.S. passport renewal application for eligible individuals. When you're clicking around the State Department's website, this is the exact form you want. It's exclusively for people who passed our eligibility check, and it is literally the magic key that lets you renew entirely through the mail. Now, pay super close attention here because this trips up so many travelers. There is another form out there called the DS-11. That one is for first-time applicants, and for that one, you absolutely must wait to sign it until you are standing right in front of a government agent. But for our form, the DS-82, you have to sign and date it before you put it in the mail. Whatever you do, do not leave that signature line blank. If you do, they will literally pause your application and mail it right back to you. Also, a really crucial point. Once you've filled out your DS-82 online and you're ready to print, make sure your printer is set to single-sided. The processing centers use these automated scanners that just cannot handle double-sided pages. And right alongside that freshly printed, signed form, you've got to grab that old passport. You are actually mailing it in. And don't sweat it if it has some standard wear and tear from your travels, like faded covers or slightly bent pages. That is totally fine. All right, phase 3, photos and fees. First up, your passport photo. You know the official drill here, neutral expression, white background, definitely no glasses. And whatever you do, don't bend the photo. But here is where the government gets delightfully specific. You have to attach that photo to your application using exactly 4 vertical staples near the corners. Yep, 4. Not 3, not 5, and definitely no tape or glue. 4 vertical staples. It sounds incredibly rigid, I know, almost kind of funny, but following this exact instruction to the letter is what keeps your application gliding right through their sorting machines without a hitch. Next up is the cost, and you've actually got some fun choices to make here. Based on how you travel. Are you a frequent flyer taking a bunch of international flights? You'll want the standard passport book, which runs $130. Or maybe you're a border hopper who just drives or takes cruises to Canada, Mexico, or the Caribbean. The passport card might be all you need, and that's just $30. But if you're the ultimate traveler who wants the absolute best of both worlds, you can grab both the book and the card for $160. Just choose the adventure that fits your vibe. Now, whatever your total comes out to, you've got to pay the Department of State. And hear me clearly on this one. Do not send cash. The government is super strict about this. They insist on a personal check or a money order. You can't just toss a few $100 bills into the envelope and hope for the best. Just make that check out directly to the U.S. Department of State so everything processes securely. But wait, what if you're in a massive rush? Maybe you just booked a spontaneous trip? Well, that brings us to this very specific number, $60. That's the optional fee you can pay to jump the line for expedited processing. Tacking this extra $60 onto your check trims the processing time down to just 2 to 3 weeks. If you have international travel coming up fast, I'm telling you, this is the best $60 you will ever spend. Okay, phase 4, assemble in mail. Let's run through a quick
final pre-flight checklist before you seal that envelope. Have you got your completed and signed DS-82? Check. Your most recent passport? Check. One photo stapled exactly 4 times? Check. Your personal check or money order? Check. And lastly, if your legal name has changed since your last passport, like maybe you got married, you absolutely must include that official name change document right there in the envelope. Once it is all packed up, mail it to the specific address printed on the DS-82 instructions. I highly recommend using a trackable service through USPS. And let me clear up a really common misconception right now. Even though a lot of post offices act as passport acceptance facilities, they will not accept your DS-82 over the counter. You cannot hand it to a clerk to process for you. You just buy your trackable postage and drop it directly into the mail stream.
Finally, Phase 5, timelines and tracking.
So if you check the State Department's website, they'll quote you 4 to 6 weeks for routine processing. But we need to look closely at the math here because that 4 to 6 weeks does not include mail time. It can take up to 2 weeks for your envelope just to physically travel to the processing center and get logged in. Then they actually process it for 4 to 6 weeks. And finally, it can take up to another 2 weeks for the brand new passport to travel through the mail back to your house. So when you're calculating the timeline for your next trip, definitely account for the mail time on both ends, not just the processing window.
And remember earlier when I said attention to detail was like packing a parachute? The Department of State scrutinizes every single package. If they spot one of these common errors, like you forgot to sign the form, your photo doesn't meet the specs, your check is for the wrong amount, or you forgot to throw your old passport in there, they will literally stop the clock. They'll mail you a letter asking you to fix it, which totally stalls that entire timeline we just talked about. So get it right the first time, and you can completely ignore this list. Okay, but let's say everything goes perfectly. Your brand new passport arrives in the mail. You open it up and... wait, where is your old passport? Where is your marriage certificate? Take a breath. Do not panic. The government ships your shiny new passport completely separately from your old, canceled passport and your supporting documents. Those original docs can safely arrive up to 4 weeks after your new passport shows up. It is totally, completely normal.
And there you have it. You've absolutely nailed the eligibility check, conquered the forms, stapled with precision, and you know exactly how the timelines work. Your paperwork is officially in the mail, doing its thing. You've bypassed the lines and skipped the stress entirely. But honestly, the real question is, as you wait for that sleek new booklet to arrive in your mailbox, where is your new passport going to take you first? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. And hey, happy travels!